We're going to be talking about the kind of resurgence of Avatar: The Last Airbender that has happened now that it's on Netflix and everybody's in quarantine or has been in quarantine for the last couple of months. I came across this article that I kind of wanted to get your guys' opinion on. And the title of the article, it's from The Verge, and it says Avatar: The Last Airbender is back on Netflix, but don't start with the first episode.
Ooh.
Oh, shoot.
So,
Tell us more.
basically, it's an article that is arguing that people should start from Zuko Alone, which is season 2, episode 7.
Interesting.
Okay, yeah. And basically it's saying, consider Zuko Alone a standalone episode that shows just what the show will become. What do you guys think of this?
So are they saying Zuko Alone is basically the trailer to the entire show?
So basically they're going into how it's an episode that shows kind of where this character is. But to be honest, in my assessment of the article, it doesn't make a lot of sense, to be honest.
I think from what I heard from the article, or what I was looking at it, I think the reason why they want you to watch Zuko Alone was to show that this show isn't like a typical kid show, and that a lot of the themes and elements that why people love the show, Zuko Alone can express that necessarily. So, the mature themes are basically there, and that if you watch the shit, like that episode can make someone, because they feel like the first episode, although there's a lot of like hints of those ideas, at the same time, it's not enough for someone who, like, if you first watch it, you might think, oh, this is like a fun little kid show, you know? Versus Zuko Alone, you'd be like, okay, this is some really heavy stuff. Like,
right.
So
I think that's what
they're trying to.
I agree.
That's
with
their
you.
main purpose behind it.
It's a strange thing to say. It's a weird thing to suggest to people, especially if it's someone that's never seen the show before. But it is interesting to pose that for people who have already seen it once. And that's because, well, in my opinion, I think the first episode, like the real first episode of Avatar, is like one of the worst episodes. I don't think it's that good.
I don't know. I think Great Divide is worse, but that's my opinion.
Great Divide is also one of the worst ones. But I think the first episode's not that good, because I remember I was really excited to rewatch Avatar: The Last Airbender, and when I watched the first episode, I was like, oh my god, was everything in my head? Is this show not as good as it was when I was a kid? And I was like, oh, probably just aged really badly. But I stuck with it, and I was like, dang, first episode sucked. Like, it really doesn't do a good job of setting up the tone and the themes of the rest of the show. But that's not to say that Zuko Alone does it any better. I think the show is a good balance of seriousness and, you know, childlike imagination. But I guess I can see where the person's coming from, especially when you think about how important Zuko is to the entire story. Right. I feel like his arc is very prominent in the show. Like, it's not equal to Aang's, but he gets a lot of like FaceTime on the show. Like, of all the airtime, like Zuko gets a lot of it.
Honestly, with my rewatch of the show, I would argue that his arc is equal to Aang's.
Yeah,
I would argue that Zuko's arc is equal. But I think
you could back that. Yeah, I'm not
I think that the whole thing that they were trying to avoid is kind of what you guys have touched on, where the first couple episodes are not that great. It's very clearly geared towards children, and that might like cause some people to discard it after a couple of episodes. Although I don't think that the right way to fix that problem, they address a good problem, but I don't think the right way to fix it is to tell them to start in this specific episode. I don't think that makes sense. I feel like they should just like be warning people like, hey, the first couple episodes are geared towards children, but as the show develops, so too does the themes that it's dealing with.
The fix is to just tough it out.
Yeah, I think this is a very interesting what's it called, article in the sense where Zuko Alone, it is a standalone episode. And I do feel like if you were to watch that episode first, it wouldn't be too... I mean, it's weird that, you know, he's alone. But again, because it's a standalone episode, it wouldn't be too unorthodox to go from that episode to the first episode. So I do agree in a sense that, not that you should watch it first, but if you were to see that episode first, that does kind of give a good idea. But but the way this Avatar show starts and everything, the first episode is just... The first 2 episodes in general are just like, they're the premise. You have to start off with there. So it's very interesting because I don't disagree with the idea of watching Zuko Alone or being able to see it first, but I don't think you should just see it first before you do it. So that's
Wait, so the article just says that you see that episode and then you just start? Like...
Yeah, that's what they want you. They want to start with that episode. Oh. Like they're like, go with that one episode first.
That's terrible. But imagine going from Zuko Alone to the first episode.
Yeah.
It's like a different show.
I mean, funny enough, I actually did that one on Netflix. I did start with Zuko Alone, and then I restarted the whole thing. I was like,
how did you feel?
What are your opinions? How did you think that enriched the experience for you, or did that suck?
Okay, so it sucks because obviously I have hindsight bias to how everything went.
Yeah.
At first, I was against it just because I'm like, what about the scar? But then they actually do mention about his scar. So I'm like, wow. So they actually, you could, from my feeling going from Zuko Alone and then going from it, it does make you understand Zuko a little bit. It still doesn't explain why he's after the Avatar. So that might be a little bit of a confusion. But then you hear that he's banished. So I guess the explanation will get you.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, the first episode he says it.
Wait, he says why he's after Avatar because he's banished?
In the first episode, he's
okay,
like, I have to regain my honor.
I think what would be cooler is if someone strategically kind of did a timeline of videos that you should watch after Zuko Alone instead of going from Zuko Alone to episode 1, book 1, and then just like watch the entire series as if like, you know.
Yeah, but that would be very difficult
changed.
because the series.
But it would be interesting. I think someone should do that. I'm proposing it right now. Someone do it somewhere. But another thing too is like Zuko Alone is a very standout episode amongst all episodes of the whole series. It's almost a standalone, I would say, because it's got very stylized it's a very stylized episode. I don't think that it's comparable to any of the other episodes in the series. It's kind of like Quentin Tarantino-esque. It's got like cowboy theme, like old Western themes. It's got like old, like kind of, what is it, Ronin samurai themes where it's like he's like kind of banished from like where he's supposed to be. And it's more of a standalone episode, if anything, than a good intro into Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's a great episode, but I just don't think it's representative of the entire series either. I think there's other episodes in Avatar: The Last Airbender that includes all the themes of Avatar in a better way than Zuko Alone, for sure.
I think even
it's a great episode.
I think even the episode that has both Aang and Zuko's backstories paralleled would be better than that one. The one where it shows
the storm.
The storm. That episode. That would even be better. But
I guess that could work because it does go into the backstory and you understand why he doesn't want to be it. Yeah, that actually could be a better episode if it were saying episode to start first because you get to understand Aang. Yeah, I actually think I would like that episode, honestly, to start off.
Yeah, I think that would be a better choice if you didn't want to start from the first episode. But I think the best thing to do is to just start from the first episode.
Yeah, definitely get the whole get over the whole that it's a kid show thing. Which I don't know. I get mad at that because it's like the same people who say, "Oh, that's a kid show," still watch SpongeBob. So it's like, why what? Basically, you're telling me you don't want no plot in your kid shows. That's what I hear when I hear that. It's like, this is supposed to be silly.
I definitely want to try your guys' suggestion of watching Storm first. I think that would be kind of cool. But yeah, I agree with you.
We all pretty much rewatched it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't.
But I want to rewatch it with watching Storm first and then go back.
I'm still in the middle of the second episode on the rewatch, the second season.
Me too.
I was like, second episode?
Second season.
How dare you?
Second season, yeah.
Yeah,
but,
I feel you. I'm still on second season too.
Yeah, making my way.
Making my way downtown.